Just when fans had finally gotten off a Stranger Things Season 4 hype train, it seems new information for Season 5 is already at the station, and we've already booked our tickets. We might have just gotten a look into the number of episodes we'll be getting for the show's 5th and final season thanks to a behind-the-scenes photo. In today's video, we'll discuss all that and more, so let's dive in. First off, the picture comes directly from the Stranger Things writers. The writing team behind Netflix's super hit TV series have their own Twitter account. They use this to communicate with fans, debunk rumors, and, like they just did now, give us those oh-so-juicy teasers. According to a new behind-the-scenes photo they shared, it seems that the final season of Stranger Things is going to have 8 episodes. The image divides each episode into a bunch of grids. It's clear that the writers plan on laying out the structure of each episode along the board before they begin the writing process in more detail. Interestingly, the 5th and final season having 8 episodes means it'll have one less than Season 4, but this was to be expected. Earlier this year, the Duffer Brothers confirmed that the 4th season was extra long, and that despite being the last, the 5th wouldn't have as many episodes. In fact, while talking with Vanity Fair, the brothers confirmed that even the individual lengths of the episodes won't be as much as their Season 4 counterparts. Now, before y'all start panicking, there's a good reason behind this. The Duffer Brothers confirmed that much of the reason behind Season 4's extra long runtime was because the series took its time to build up the supernatural aspect. For at least the first 2 hours, the kids hadn't even come across anything scary, and we were really just seeing their struggles at school as they tried to fit in. And if you've seen the Season 4 finale, school is the last of the kids' worries right now. Season 5 might immediately jump into the action, and so the shorter runtime makes sense. Next, the 5th season is expected to have a time skip, so it finally happened. Since the very first season of the show, people have been questioning why the Stranger Things cast of mostly child actors seems to grow by at least 2 years in between each season. There's a gap of just about a few months in the story in the middle of each season, so it was always jarring to see the actors age so much. And while the writers were able to keep the issue at bay for a while, it looks like the cast is finally aging enough to where they can't continue the show without a time skip. Season 5 will likely start with a time skip that'll bring the cast closer to the ages of their respective actors. While speaking to TV Line, the Duffer Brothers stated that while ideally they'd love to have shot Season 4 and 5 back-to-back, there was just no way for them to realistically do that. Season 4 was already long enough as is, and we're sure the cast needed a bit of a break before jumping back into the 5th season, especially since it's the last. After the events of Season 4's final episode, it'd definitely feel odd to be told that everyone just sorta sat around for a year or two, but who knows, maybe they've got something cool in the works to explain it. Moving on, what's going to be the focus of the final season? We're sure there's a whole range of things to cover in the show's final outing. One of the things the Duffer Brothers have stated that they want to explore is the history of the Upside Down. Most notably, it looks like we'll be looking into the origins of this weird realm, which would be a great way to bring the whole show back to where it all started. The series also plans to jump right into the action this time, instead of building up suspense as they usually do. Stranger Things seasons tend to end quite neatly, with most of the plot points of that specific season being tied up nicely. While there's a cliffhanger or two to keep us hooked for the next season, it's usually nothing too dramatic. Season 4's ending has been the exact opposite of this, and so it seems the writers plan on wasting no time as they head on over to the final season. They also seem to be working on creating an ending that's satisfying for fans. In their interview with TV Line, the brothers reportedly said that the ending is going to be tough for them. It's tough to conclude a show like this without at least a portion of the audience being disappointed, and we totally get it. But we just hope the series is able to deliver something that makes sense, unlike a certain show's conclusion. Hey, did someone say Game of Thrones? And now, when can we expect the 5th season to come out? The writing for the series began just recently in August, and from the behind-the-scenes photo we got, it doesn't look like they've made too much progress on it just yet. So the final season is still very much in the early phases of development. We think the writers will definitely take a bit of extra time to work out the script, considering just how important this season is going to be for the whole series. So it could take at least a couple of weeks to a few months to fully finalize the script. After that, shooting should start, which tends to take a couple of months. And then there's post-production. It's safe to say the series won't reach our screens for quite some time. If we had to estimate, it'd definitely be late 2023 at the earliest, but a 2024 release is much more likely, considering that it is the final season, and they'll probably want to take the extra time to make sure it's perfect. The wait is never easy, but this time it's going to be especially difficult. Not only is this season going to be the last, but the spot Season 4 chose to end things at has us anticipating the show's return even more. And with that, let's head on over to our next segment. Next, in other news, She-Hulk finally acknowledges the Hulk's recasting. Fans of the MCU might recall that Mark Ruffalo wasn't the first actor to play the role of the Hulk. The character was initially played by Edward Norton before being recast. While they've never really commented on this change in universe before, it seems they've finally acknowledged it now in She-Hulk Attorney at Law with a rather cheeky bit of dialogue. In a recent episode of the Disney Plus series, the Hulk states that he's a completely different person now, literally. While yes, it's almost certainly supposed to refer to the character's change into the Hulk, we all know just what the writers were really referencing with this line. Fans have always wondered if the MCU could somehow incorporate Norton's Hulk back into the movies, and now with the multiverse being a thing in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, we might just get to see it. Fans have always felt like the Hulk was a rather underutilized character in the MCU, especially considering he was one of the original Avengers. Adding Norton into the mix could definitely make things interesting, and we'd like to see how the two Hulks play off of each other. Also, US streaming has overtaken cable TV viewing for the first time. Recently, it was reported that for the first time in US television history, streaming has managed to overtake cable viewing. Over the last month, streaming made up 34.8% of TV viewing, which was about a few points more than cable TV at around 34.4%. While it might not look like a big difference, it's still a huge deal because it shows that streaming services aren't just a fad anymore. Instead, they're the new norm. People are switching over to streaming platforms like Prime Video, Netflix, and HBO Max more often than ever before. We wonder what that means for cable television. Could it be headed towards a future kind of like Blockbuster? Finally, Netflix may charge $7 to $9 for its new ad-supported plan. Over the past couple of months, Netflix has slowly unveiled its new ad-supported plan. Just recently, they stated that they'll be partnering up with Microsoft for their advertisements. And now, they've revealed that they're considering a price point between $7 to $9 for this new plan. The streaming platform has stated that their goal with the ad-supported plan is to attract more customers who are willing to watch some ads in exchange for a cheaper price. Netflix aims to keep their existing plans in place for viewers who want a completely ad-free experience. So as far as we can tell, this should add more options without taking anything away. But we still can't help to be hesitant since no ads was one of the big reasons why streaming services became so popular in the first place. That's a wrap for this video. Which shows are you watching to pass time until Stranger Things Season 5 releases? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.